Hey, 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 lovely people. Happy late night and early morning to our favorite listeners. Welcome to 10 Minute Talk with Aquisha Harris. Now, today we are talking about something that a lot of people go through, okay? We're talking about trauma, triggers, and tears. Yes, honey, you heard me. Trauma, we all have it. Triggers, we all have them. And tears, we all create them. Even if you're not a big crybaby, it's fine. You probably need some more water. But before I jump into it, let me just let you all know that today's episode is brought to you by Aquisha Harris and Company, where they offer personal and professional development to those who want to outgrow the status quo. All right, let's get into it. Now, honey, we all know about trauma. We've all experienced some sort of trauma. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody died, maybe someone maybe you were left at the zoo, left at the zoo, and I don't mean to laugh because that is a real trauma for a kid being left behind. I'm sure we all have experienced some kind of trauma. And disclaimer, I am not a licensed clinician, nor am I a licensed therapist. I am talking from just personal experiences because all of these things are harbored in our soul. And that's really where my expertise comes in. Just talking about soul issues and soul wounds. And when we talk about the soul, we have to remember, people. We are three-part beings, meaning we are spirit, one, we are soul, two, and we are body, three. So we have three components to who we are. And that spirit, our human spirit, depending on what your religion is, if you have one, usually the God of your life, the God of your faith governs that realm, governs that spiritual part of you. If you are somebody who does not believe in a God or a higher power, you then become your own God and higher power. And your human spirit is governed by you, really, your soul. And second part, our soul. Now, we all have this emotional, intellectual mind, will, emotions, imagination, all of that stuff is harbored in our soul. So if you think about what it felt like to open your gifts on Christmas morning as a kid, or how it felt to ride your bike for the first time, or what it felt like when you fell down and scraped your knee, or what your first breakup was, if your parents got divorced, if you got straight A's in school, all of those different situations are harbored in our soul. Now, depending on the type of emotional connection we have to it, that's what's going to impact our lives. That's where we act from. That's the source of our behavior. Now, we can look at people and say, what is wrong with them? Or why are they acting like that? Or why are you flipping out? And why are you doing this and doing that? But that soul is usually the motor behind a lot of behaviors, right? Now, when we talk about trauma and triggers and all of that stuff, I'm just going to, since I am not, again, a licensed clinician or a licensed psychotherapist or anything like that. And at the end of this, actually, I'm going to give you a few resources for mental health therapists, people who are licensed, honey, and have their own businesses. So they are, I got you. I got you covered. But let's just see. According to American Psychological Association, it says trauma is an emotional response to a terrible event like an accident, a rape, or natural disaster. Immediately after the event, shock and denial are typical. Longer term reactions include unpredictable emotions, flashback, strained relationships, and even physical symptoms like headaches or nausea. While these feelings are normal, some people have difficulty moving on with their lives. Psychologists can help them find constructive ways of managing their emotions. And that's really, really important because I think we all can find ourselves in that description of what trauma is. We've had terrible accidents and things that have happened to us. Let's talk about a breakup, okay? Talk about a breakup on a very low level. You can smell something that reminds you of your ex. You can hear a song that reminds you of your ex, and it triggers, going into triggers, it triggers some psychological parts of you, right? And I know you know. It can be a cologne, ladies. I'm talking to you. You can, if you're talking about a, remembering an ex, or you hear a song that you both love to dance to, or maybe you made out to, whatever, or you hear someone's name that sounds like his. It can be anything that triggers different responses in us. Um, so when we just think about how our body is responding, right? Maybe your heart is beating. Maybe you could get a headache. That's like what we just read in the American Psychological Association, how they gave us the breakdown on trauma. Now, we not all of us are equipped, right? And that's why we have such great mental health professionals in our communities and in our world. When we have these situations, we may not feel that we're ready to talk to someone else. We may not even feel that we can trust other people. We may not feel that, that we may not be able to overcome the stigma that surrounds a lot of what we go through. And all of that, that has its place, and all of that is easy to understand. But I really want us to focus on ourselves. This is a chance for us to be selfish right now. I want you to just think about what is plaguing you the most. What is, and it may, when you think about that question, and when you go to answer that question, I want you to think on a grand scale. We may not even get to the root of the issue within these few minutes, but I want you to think about, what was your last blow up about? What was the last thing you just flat out lost your cool on? What was something that just brought you to tears? What was something that caused a great emotional response in you? And if you could think about what happened, what was that linked to? What did it remind you of? And usually we can't think about it just right offhand, right? Because so many things are deeply ingrained in our soul. Remember, I told you our soul is that emotional compartment of us. It is that intellectual compartment of us where things are harbored and remembered in our subconscious and all of those things. So when we go into living out our daily lives and wondering what's wrong with us and seeing all of these issues that are plaguing our body, seeing all of these problems that are just going on in the world, and it kind of triggers a response out of us. I think we should pay better attention to ourselves. We need to pay greater attention to ourselves. What do I mean by that? Well, we need to do some more soul work. We need to focus on our soul. Okay. And when I tell you I have a little bit of experience in overcoming certain things, I'm serious, right? Sexually abused infrequently between the ages of 4 and 16. I was even sexually, assaulted as an adult. I attempted suicide at 13. Like, yeah, that's a real thing. Slipped into depression, slid, and stayed there for a long time. And if it wasn't for the grace of God and such great mentors and coaches around me, I would have not made it out. Oh my God, I would not have made it out because I just didn't have the bandwidth to understand. I didn't have the language for what was going on. And it led me to write a book about soul regurgitation, right? Not vomit, regurgitation, because a lot of things that we go through keep coming up. And why do they keep coming up? Because they're not properly digested, they're not properly addressed. We gloss over so many things and then go about our daily lives as if nothing is happening, or, we're just holding on to God's unchanging hand, whatever cliches, whatever religious cliches you hold on to get you through, too blessed to be stressed, and all of these things that don't allow us to get to the nitty gritty and handle the truth about what is going on in us. What is going on with us? You know what I'm saying? And we have to also know that you don't experience yourself, people experience you. So many times we have this depiction of who we are, we have this image facade of who we think we are, but other people are having different experiences, and your experience, your perspective and their experience may be clashing. And I guarantee you it's due to what's going on in that soul. It is very, very crucial for us to handle what is going on in our soul, especially if you were offended, especially if someone hurt your heart, especially if somebody violated your body or your personal space. It is very important for us to deal with those issues and take the proper steps, use the right strategies, and get connected with the right people who can help us. So, we're going to dive more into that for episode 3. Oh my gosh, people. I wanted to read a little bit from my book Soul Regurgitation because um yeah, it really helped me. This was so therapeutic writing this book, okay, and working through the issues that I was going through. And one of them is offense, right? Because we can always play the victim and feel justified. But when I tell you, getting to a place where you can forgive somebody, getting to a place where you are able to see yourself differently than a victim or a hero, right? Getting to a place of accountability and helping yourself to be realigned with who you actually are, who God created you to be, and with your purpose, child, life is so much better on the other side. Okay. I made Soul Regurgitation an interactive book that encourages you to just look below the surface to find the origin of the problem that plague our everyday lives. That seems easy, right? Yeah, because society has taught us bad emotional habits, and too often we're encouraged to get over it or to let it go without a solid understanding of why the person and or the problem affected us. Okay? I'm here to help you, baby. This is real. And just so you know, on Thursday, I want you all to register for our Heal Your Heart Masterclass, where we are going to discuss how to heal these soul wounds. Okay. June 1st, that's Thursday. It's going to be from 12 to 2. It's a masterclass. I need you to sign up because I need to know who is going to be there, who I'm talking to. You already know what we're talking about. And trust me, we are going to get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. I love you all, and I can't wait to episode 3. Talk to you.